Valorant is Riot Games' character-based competitive tactical shooter that boasts an extensive roster of agents, so here's how they stack against one another. Valorant incorporates a diverse array of characters into a high-fidelity tactical shooter, which are referred to as agents. While each agent has their own unique ability set, Riot has balanced characters extremely well. That being said, some agents' strengths far outweigh others. With that in mind, which character should you look towards mastering so you can dominate inside the server? We've ranked every Valorant agent to bring you the ultimate tier list. Valorant's S-tier agents. Raze. Valorant's Raze. Riot Games' Dexerto. Perhaps Valorant's most controversial character, the Raze is arguably Valorant's only overpowered character. Equipped with a boom bot for essential intel, a blast pack to boost her into places that give her a vertical advantage, and up to 2 sets of cluster grenades which have a devastating radius, it's easy to see why Raze is most people's go-to agent. Ability 1, Boom Bot, 200 creds, equip a boom bot. Fire will deploy the bot, causing it to travel in a straight line on the ground, bouncing off walls. The boom bot will lock onto any enemies in its frontal cone and chase them, exploding for heavy damage if it reaches them. Ability 2, Blast Pack, 100 creds, instantly throw a blast pack that will stick to surfaces. Reuse the ability after deployment to detonate, damaging and moving anything hit. Signature ability, Paint Shells 1 free, 200 creds for extra, equip a cluster grenade. Fire to throw the grenade, which does damage and creates sub-munitions, each doing damage to anyone in their range. Ultimate ability, Showstopper, 6 points, equip a rocket launcher. Fire shoots a rocket that does massive area damage on contact with anything. That's not to mention her incredible ultimate ability, which can prove lethal at both close and long range. Perhaps the only thing keeping Raze from being in a league of her own is just how vocal the agent is when deploying her abilities. Sage. Valorant's Sage. Riot Games' Dexerto. Valorant Resident Medic is an essential agent on any team. Her signature ability can prove incredibly valuable in the latter portions of a round if you or your team have sustained damage. Both her slow and barrier orbs are handy for temporarily cornering off specific sections of a map, which the latter can also be used to boost on top of stack boxes or the like to give you a height advantage when peeking for information or an early kill. Ability 1, Barrier Orb, 300 creds, equip a barrier orb. Fire places a solid wall. Alt Fire rotates the targeter. Ability 2, Slow Orb, 100 creds, equip a slowing orb. Fire to throw a slowing orb forward that detonates upon landing, creating a lingering field that slows players caught inside of it. Signature ability, Healing Orb free, 35's cooldown, equip a healing orb. Fire with your crosshairs over a damaged ally to activate a heal over time on them. Alt Fire while Sage is damaged to activate a self-heal over time. Ultimate ability, Resurrection, 7 points, equip a resurrection ability. Fire with your crosshairs placed over a dead ally to begin resurrecting them. After a brief channel, the ally will be brought back to life with full health. Aside from Sage's orbs, the agent's resurrection ability can turn the tide of a round in your favor, especially when in a clutch situation where the man advantage can be pivotal. Given the expense of her barrier and ultimate, Sage doesn't quite get the top spot to herself. Valorant's R-tier agents. Jett. Valorant's Jett. Riot Games' Dexerto. One of Valorant's high-risk, high-reward agents, Jett is a must-have agent if you sport more of an aggressive playstyle. Combining her updraft and tailwind abilities can often give you the edge in close-quarters engagements. Moreover, updraft can be used to get you on top of various boxes, reactor sites, so you can get the edge over someone on the ground. Ability 1, Cloudburst, 100 creds, instantly throw a projectile that expands into a brief vision blocking cloud on impact with a surface. Hold the ability key to curve the smoke in the direction of your crosshair. Ability 2, Updraft 200 creds, instantly propel jet high into the air. Signature ability, Tailwind 1 free, instantly propel jet in the direction she is moving. If jet is standing still, she will propel forward. Ultimate ability, Blade Storm 7 points, equip a set of highly accurate throwing knives that recharge on killing an opponent. Fire to throw a single knife at your target. Alternate fire to throw all remaining daggers at your target. Blade Storm is an incredibly impactful ultimate, providing you are accurate with it. If you miss an enemy equipped with a weapon, we'll certainly let you know about it. Jet's throwing knives can often come in handy as a replacement for a weapon when your team opts to save, but for the relative cost and when compared with other ultimates, Blade Storm isn't all that great. Omen. Valorant's Omen. Riot Games' Dexerto. Omen is a difficult agent to master, but when you do, you'll soon realize that they're a jack of all trades. Shrouded Steps permits Omen to get on top of hard locations other agents can't, or to silently move behind an object, into a smoke. Dark Cover essentially provides Omen with a long-range shadow sphere that can be deployed through walls to block enemies' line of sight, while Paranoia can flash enemies through walls and give you the edge when peeking in a one-on-one gunfight. Ability 1, Shrouded Step 100 creds, equip a Shadow Walk ability and see its range indicator. Fire to begin a brief channel, then teleport to the marked location. Ability 2, Paranoia 200 creds, instantly fire a shadow projectile forward, briefly reducing the vision range of all players it touches. This projectile can pass straight through walls. Signature ability, Dark Cover 2 free, equip a shadow orb and see its range indicator. Fire to throw the shadow orb to the marked location, creating a long-lasting shadow sphere that blocks vision. Hold alternate fire while targeting to move the marker further away. Hold the ability key while targeting to move the marker closer. Ultimate ability, From the Shadows 7 points, equip a tactical map. Fire to begin teleporting to the selected location. While teleporting, Omen will appear as a shade that can be destroyed by an enemy to cancel his teleport. On paper, Omen's ultimate is the best in the game, but when you deploy it mid-round, the quip will inform the enemy when you have used it. If you happen to teleport close to an enemy, there is an audio cue, which will reveal your location and make you vulnerable as an easy kill. Phoenix. Valorant's Phoenix. Riot Games' Dexerto. Phoenix is another agent that suits a more aggressive playstyle. Blaze can divide a portion of a map in two while obscuring the enemy's sight, whereas Hot Hands will give you a fireball that spreads on impact. One handy perk to both of these abilities is that they will regenerate a certain amount of your health over time. But beware, your fellow teammates will take damage if they touch your flames. Ability 1, Blaze 200 creds, equip a flame wall. Fire to create a line of flame that moves forward, creating a wall of fire that blocks vision and damages players passing through it. Hold fire to bend the wall in the direction of your crosshair. Ability 2, Curveball 100 creds, equip a flare orb that takes a curving path and detonates shortly after throwing. Fire to curve the flare orb to the left, detonating and blinding any player who sees the orb. Alternate fire to curve the flare orb to the right. Signature ability, Hot Hands 1 free, equip a fireball. Fire to throw a fireball that explodes after a set amount of time or upon hitting the ground, creating a lingering fire zone that damages enemies. Ultimate ability, Run It Back 6 points, instantly place a marker at Phoenix's location. While this ability is active, dying or allowing the timer to expire will end this ability and bring Phoenix back to this location with full health. Phoenix Flare Orb makes peeking around corners a doddle, given how easy they are to bend around objects. Given that they blind anyone that sees the orb, they're particularly useful for challenging multiple enemies if you're in a clutch situation. Run It Back grants Phoenix a temporary placebo life, meaning that they can peek for info without dealing with the repercussions. Although beware, as enemies can often snuff out your marker and roll up for an easy kill while you're at your most vulnerable. Valorant's B-tier agents. Breach. Valorant's Breach. Riot Games' Dexerto. Breach is one of Valorant's most well-rounded agents who can go into combat all guns blazing, but lacks the flair of the likes of Jett and Phoenix. Both Aftershock and Flashpoint are designed to allow you to burst through enemy lines, making them a great tool when your team is trying to take a reactor site. Ability 1, Aftershock, 100 creds, equip a fusion charge. Fire the charge to set a slow-acting burst through the wall. The burst does heavy damage to anyone caught in its area. Ability 2, Flashpoint, 200 creds, equip a blind charge. Fire the charge to set a fast-acting burst through the wall. The charge detonates to blind all players looking at it. Signature ability, Fault Line, free, 35's cooldown, equip a seismic blast. Hold fire to increase the distance. Release to set off the quake, dazzling all players in its zone and in a line up to the zone. Ultimate ability, Rolling Thunder, 7 points, equip a seismic charge. Fire to send a cascading quake through all terrain in a large cone. The quake dazzles and knocks up anyone caught in it. But on the flip side of the coin, Breach's signature and ultimate abilities are relatively underpowered compared with other agents. Without the necessary intel, both Fault Line and Rolling Thunder are easy to dodge from an enemy's perspective. So unless you can buddy up with a Sova or Cypher, Breach is a tough agent to be effective with. Cypher. Valorant's Cypher. Riot Games' Dexerto. The master of intel, Cypher is a one-man surveillance network that can provide your team with an edge in combat at any given moment. Their trapwire often catches enemies off guard, dazzling them and making it easy for Cypher to swoop in for a simple frag. Cyber Cage is a great tool to prevent enemies from pushing specific choke points, meaning that you can isolate your focus to just one portion of the map. But it's Cypher's signature which makes them most appealing. Ability 1, Trapwire, 200 creds, equip a trapwire. Fire to place a destructible and covert tripwire at the targeted location, creating a line that spans between the placed location and the wall opposite. Enemy players who cross a tripwire will be tethered and dazed after a short period if they do not destroy the device in time. This ability can be picked up to be redeployed. Ability 2, Cyber Cage, 100 creds, equip a Cyber Cage. Fire to toss the Cyber Cage in front of Cypher. Activate to create a zone that blocks vision and slows enemies who pass through it. Signature ability, Spy Cam, 1 free, equip a Spy Cam. Fire to place the Spy Cam at the targeted location. Reuse this ability to take control of the camera's view. While in control of the camera, fire to shoot a marking dart. This dart will reveal the location of any player struck by the dart. Ultimate ability, Neural Theft, 7 points, instantly use on a dead enemy player in your crosshairs to reveal the location of all living enemy players. If you're holding down a reactor site but don't want to peek for info, you can activate a well-placed camera which can provide you with info on the enemy's whereabouts without having to risk your life. Neural Theft will temporarily reveal enemy locations, but is the joint most expensive ultimate in the game, which means you'll often find yourself pushing for orbs to boost points. Given how difficult the agent can be to use effectively, and how their spy cam places them in a vulnerable position while using it, Cypher doesn't quite cut the mustard compared with other characters. Sova. Valorant's Sova. Riot Games' Dexerto. Sova is another agent that can offer crucial intel during a round but is slightly more nimble than Cypher in doing so. The trademark bow can either fire a shock bolt that is handy for getting a camping enemy out of a corner, or it can fire recon bolt, which can reveal enemy locations. However, alongside Sova's OWL drone, the recon bolt can easily be destroyed before revealing enemy locations. Ability 1, OWL drone, 300 creds, equip an OWL drone. Fire to deploy and take control of movement of the drone. While in control of the drone, fire to shoot a marking dart. This dart will reveal the location of any player struck by the dart. Ability 2, Shock Bolt, 100 creds, equip a bow with a shock bolt. Fire to send the explosive bolt forward, detonating upon collision and damaging players nearby. Hold fire to extend the range of the projectile. Alternate fire to add up to 2 bounces to this arrow. Signature ability, Recon Bolt, free, 35's cooldown, equip a bow with Recon Bolt. Fire to send the recon bolt forward, activating upon collision and revealing the location of nearby enemies caught in the line of sight of the bolt. Enemies can destroy this bolt. Hold fire to extend the range of the projectile. Alternate fire to add up to 2 bounces to this arrow. Ultimate ability, Hunter's Fury, 7 points, equip a bow with 3 long-range, wall-piercing energy blasts. Fire to release an energy blast in a line in front of Sova, dealing damage and revealing the location of enemies caught in the line. This ability can be reused up to 2 more times while the ability timer is active. Hunter's Fury is great when combined with a recon bolt that goes undetected, as it can penetrate walls to damage enemies. If the enemy is already weak, 1 blast of energy will be enough to leave them on the sidelines. But the loud voice quip together with a warning that you're being targeted makes it relatively easy for your foes to escape unscathed. Valorant's C-tier agents. Brimstone. Valorant's Brimstone. Riot Games' Dexerto. You might wonder why Brimstone finds himself at the bottom of the pack. Surely one of Valorant's most versatile agents would be a great addition to any team. Well, party, yes. Their sky smokes are fantastic to smoke off key lines of sight, and can be easily deployed with their easy-to-use handheld radar, concealing an enemy's vision. But that's just about as good as Brimstone gets. Their stim beacon grants any player rapid fire, meaning that if an enemy is nearby, they will also benefit. Brimstone's incendiary is easy to escape and offers very little damage in exchange for 200 creds, which could be put towards upgrading your weapon. Ability 1, Stim Beacon, 100 creds, equip a stim beacon. Fire to toss the stim beacon in front of Brimstone. Upon landing, the stim beacon will create a field that grants players rapid fire. Ability 2, Incendiary, 200 creds, equip an incendiary grenade launcher. Fire to launch a grenade that detonates as it comes to a rest on the floor, creating a lingering fire zone that damages players within the zone. Signature ability, Sky Smoke, 1 free, 100 creds for extra, equip a tactical map. Fire to set locations where Brimstone smoke clouds will land. Alternate fire to confirm, launching long-lasting smoke clouds that block vision in the selected area. Ultimate ability, Orbital Strike, 6 points, equip a tactical map. Fire to launch a lingering orbital strike blaster at the selected location, dealing high damage over time to players caught in the selected area. And again, on paper, their orbital strike is great, as it provides a large blast radius and can clear out a reactor site with no problem. But enemies can easily escape the damage zone, given how much notice they have combining both the visual and audio cues. When weighed up against other ultimates that cost 6 points, like Phoenix and Raze, there really isn't any competition, which makes Brimstone one of Valorant's weakest characters. Viper. Valorant's Viper. Riot Games' Dexerto. Now Viper is a different story altogether. Essentially, all of her abilities can deal a devastating amount of damage over time. Snake Bite will both damage and slow enemies if they fall within the chemical zone, great for clearing out corners when pushing a site. However, both Poison Cloud and Toxic Screen cost fuel. And it's this fuel reserve that places Viper so low in the rankings. In a tactical shooter, where there is already enough to deal with, the added variable of keeping tabs on your fuel reserve can often prove to be a nuisance. Ability 1, Snakebite, 100 creds, equip a chemical launcher. Fire to launch a canister that shatters upon hitting the floor, creating a lingering chemical zone that damages and slows enemies. Ability 2, Poison Cloud, 200 creds, equip a gas emitter. Fire to throw the emitter that perpetually remains throughout the round. Reuse the ability to create a toxic gas cloud at the cost of fuel. This ability can be reused more than once and can be picked up to be redeployed. Signature ability, Toxic Screen, 1 free, equip a gas emitter launcher. Fire to deploy a long line of gas emitters. Reuse the ability to create a tall wall of toxic gas at the cost of fuel. This ability can be reused more than once. Ultimate ability, Viper's Pit, 7 points, equip a chemical sprayer. Fire to spray a chemical cloud in all directions around Viper, creating a large cloud that reduces the vision range and maximum health of players inside of it. Granted, Viper's Pit is incredibly useful in a post-plant scenario. But if your enemy is a quicker draw than you, the chemical cloud is almost useless other than it causing your enemies to glow when they're inside. Step outside of the cloud and your reserve will rapidly dwindle, which forces you to stay within a specific vicinity from when you activated ultimate. So there you have it, each of Valorant's agents ranked from best to worst. With the tactical shooter still in its beta stage, don't be surprised to see this list swapped and changed to reflect the changes Riot implement as each character is tweaked over time. Of course, each agent offers their own distinct benefit and drawback on the battlefield. The choice of which character you choose should revolve more around compiling the most well-rounded comp possible, as Valorant heavily relies on teamwork in order to overcome your opposite number.